So today I was contacted by the owner of this property. We're in Dublin, New Hampshire, and he's got a beaver problem, and I'll show it to you here shortly. Kind of already looked it over. We got a lot of water running out of a beaver pond up that direction, crossing, and this is a very well-known, very well-used trail. So we have a beaver pond slash lake back here. We have a trail that runs up through here that is completely inundated with water. We've got a major highway right there with that car. And they've clogged this up to the point where there's 6 inches or so of water over this. It will eventually, they have in the past dammed up along this, creating real issues with the highway. So we're trying to stop that from the get-go. And then we'll head back down this way. And pick up my bucket on the way down there. But you can see they've historically have been in here. I mean, they're just chewing everything. They're coming out of the water right there. Up here. Yeah. A bit of garbage. So this is the main issue down here. This should be dry. There's a culvert under this woods road, and they have built a huge dam across this. You can see that's 2.5 feet anyways, but right there is where the culvert used to be, or should be. They've started coming up in here, cutting and working on trees, so I don't think it would be very long till they start working on clogging up this. But this dam, they have extended it because they've been allowed to, all the way up along this trail. Now there used to be, well, still is, the remnants of a New England, old New England rock wall going through there, but they've pretty much finished that off. It looks like, I'm betting there are some bank dens over along that, and we'll head over there and look at that in a little while. But I'm gonna set up some dam break sets here, drowning sets, probably 3, and we'll start with that. Okay, so I've got these 3 dam break sets. There's one right there. There's one right there. And then the third one is right, let's see, there. So we'll see. I can't imagine that we don't have at least a couple beaver here by morning. So now we're gonna go over and look over this. You see, maybe put in some castor mounds, maybe if I can find the bank dens, that sort of thing. So turn you back on. So we're back at our First check for our first check here at this beaver problem. And yesterday I think I got well, I did the 3 dam breaks. You saw that. Then I did another dam break up on a small dam up that way. I have a couple of conifers on crossovers, and then I did a conifer caster mound down that direction where I actually found a pretty large lodge. So we'll go take a check and turn you on if we get anything, but I'm going that way. So I'm up here at this upper beaver pond. You can see the big lodges out there. I tried to get out there yesterday in my chest waders, but no, not happening. So I came down in here. There's a little waterway here that they dam up, and then there's this area out here that is completely flooded. This is like an old road. It might be the old highway actually going through here. And I found some water behind a dam, a little tiny dam, right here, that I thought was probably deep enough to do a drowning set. So I set a leg hold right there and anchored out in, I don't know, 4 feet of water or so. So should have worked, especially if we get a front foot catch. And I looked at this and my trap is missing, so can't really see down in there too well, but we'll try and set this up and maybe be able to video us checking this. Turn you back on in a second. So here's that first beaver. That is a monster beaver. Yeah. Look at that tail. It's huge. But here's this first crossover. You can see they're going from pond to pond, and I put a conifer right there, and there's beaver number 2 for the morning, and we'll get him out of there and get it reset and go from there. Alright, got that second one out of there. This is the second crossover I set, and runs out here pretty deep. I don't have my waders on this morning. I'm checking here, but strap is missing. We can get the chain here. See if we got going. There's something in there. Don't really want to drop my phone. Oh, yep, there's beaver number 3 right there. So I'll go get my trap setters and get these guys out and get them all reset, and then we'll run down and check the other 1, 2, 3 other 4 sets down there. So here's that big lodge that I found. It's a little further down the pond. The other sets are way up there, and so I put a caster mound in here, and there's beaver number 4 for the day. So I'll pull that one out and get this reset and go from there. All right, so we're back for trap check number 2 on these this double pond system here in Dublin. I got this one, and if you remember from yesterday, we have a couple crossovers up here, and then a little dam break a little further up. So I'll turn you on when we get there. I decided to just let you guys walk along with me as we check these. You can see how they've built this up pretty well. And so we'll tear this out later, try and reduce this, but for right now I want to keep the water level where it's at. There's one crossover is right there, and it's not sprung, nothing there. This should not have water on it, by the way. And the next crossover is right up here. This is a good one. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, big beaver. Great big beaver. So that's really great. And I got to get him out of there and get that reset. And I'll walk up the rest of the way here. So that's the second big adult. That's a monster beaver, so that's good. That's really good. This time of year there shouldn't be but 2 adults, and you can see what they've done up in here. They're taking down all these trees. They're damming up this little creek, and all right, there's that one's still set. So nothing there. All right, turn you back on when we get down to the other sets. But right now we're heading that way. All right, continuing on our check for the second check. No activity down by the big lodge, and the sets that are here on this big dam have no activity. I did notice today though that there's definitely water flowing down through this road, which is not a good thing. It's coming out down here. But yeah, this needs to get cleared out soon, and hopefully within the 2 more days probably, we should have the beaver cleaned out of here. There may be a couple other smaller ones, but I don't think there's a set of adults down in this lower pond. This is just their overflow. So anyways, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow, and we will go from there. Well, it's check number 3 today, and to be honest, I've already checked everything and it's all empty. There's no activity. So I'm pretty sure this colony was the 2 big adults and the 3 juveniles. So I'm gonna leave these everything set for a few more days, a couple more checks, and then we can start reducing the water level. So, but the ducks really enjoy the ponds here, so it's good. And big drake mallard. Anyways, I'll turn you back on for tomorrow. So I'm back here. It's the 3rd check in a row with no activity. They have not repaired any of the holes in the dam, and they have not used the crossover from pond to pond, and there's no activity at either of the huts. So I think we're done. So today I am just going to do a test to see if I can get this culvert cleared out a little bit, just so we can lower the water level. Because if we can drop the water level, I'll definitely know if there's any other beaver. But you can see that it's pretty well clogged up there, but if I can get a hole through the top, it might work. So I'll let you know. I'll turn you back on if we get any success. Well, I got enough of it out of there that it's flowing a little better, and definitely have dropped the water across the trail. That's good. About, we'll see how much lower it goes here, and yeah, so once it drops a little bit more, I can get back down in that culvert again. She's working, and then I'll tear another good hole in the dam, probably right there. And once that water in that dam in this pond back here drops a foot or so, we will definitely know if there's any other beaver living in here, because they will immediately come out to investigate. So, all right. All right, we're about 15 minutes, I guess, probably, into this draining, and it's definitely, the water is falling. We can actually see the top of the culvert now, and yes, indeed. So keep working at it from the downstream side, and go from there. Looking pretty good. There is some significant damage to the road where the water has figured out a way to get through. Obviously this is very bad, so yeah, we'll see. Anyways, yeah, keep after it, and like I said, I'll end up putting a hole through the dam right there, but not till I get this plug out of here. Yep, she's flowing, and That was a little bit of work, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can see there's still a bit of a blockage right there, but we'll let some of this water drain out. And reach up in there and try and grab that. So after I get that done, we'll look from the other side. Well, there we go. She's as cleaned out as I can get her. We'll walk over to the other side. There we go. Free flowing. Now, I think we'll make a hole right there. Yeah, I think so. Alrighty. Back at you after I get some of that done. Alright, we got a little bit of a hole busted right there. Pretty good water flow. Don't think we want to do any more than that for an hour or so. I'll probably go for a hike and come back and take a little more out. Figured it's better to start reducing the water level here, because I have this nice big boulder to stop the flow and cause it to change directions. Because if we did it over here, same amount of water probably would wash all this out. Might even drop one of these big boulders down and block that culvert, which is the last thing I want to do. So yeah, we might end up leaving the rest of this, most all of it, for the excavator. But I will continue to chop that hole there, because I want this water level down at least a foot. And because if it drops a foot, all of this water running down the road, the trail, will stop. And we can get this to dry out, because we probably are going to want to get the excavator all the way up here and not tear up the road too much. So yeah, we'll see. I think the water's maybe dropped quarter inch, so we'll see. It'll happen a little quicker. Got a good flow downstream, not enough to cause any problems down below, so that's another good reason to go nice and slow at this. Does take a little time, but worth doing right. All right. So I went for a hike for a couple hours and came back to see how things are going here, and you can definitely see that the water is down by at least 8 inches, maybe a little more, and chopped the hole in the dam a little bit bigger because the little creek can handle it. And you can see the culvert right there handling that much. And I popped another little hole over there. So I'd say by tomorrow it should be down pretty good. It's pretty silted in out here, so it'll clog up. But yeah, we'll do a little bit more, because there's no way you could take a chunk out of this dam with a excavator or backhoe and not flood the road. And on my hike I walked all that down there, and this is about all the water it really wants to handle. So little longer process I think would be better. Anyways, we'll check in tomorrow, show you again. So it's May 12th, it's the day after I cleaned this culvert and tore a hole in the dam. And we're walking down here. The trail is definitely dried out. Looks much better. Everything's flowing well. This was a bit of a trickle creek coming down this. That's all good. You can see out over the pond. The water's down pretty good. We'll walk out there. Quite a pile of stuff I pulled out of this hole. But that's probably about the amount of water that is coming into this pond from both that pond up there, and there's a little bit of a creek all the way up at that end. If you get out here, you can see the water's doing just fine. It's down quite a ways. Let me get out here and show you the old dam. You can now see the rock wall that was just barely sticking up, but yeah, so looks pretty good. The ducks are happy. They got all kinds of stuff to chew on and nibble on now, but yeah, so I think we're looking pretty good. And all the traps are pulled. There was no beaver activity last night, so it's a done deal here. And yeah, good to go. Yeah, we'll figure out what comes next, if anything.